Peace, brothers and sisters. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye coming to you once again. This is once again. I'd like to thank you for blessing me with the opportunity to enter into your home to share with you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that I have been blessed with by the Creator and our glorious ancestors. I'd like to acknowledge the fact that this is Black History Month. And during this month, I like to highlight a few of our warriors, that meant a lot to me personally, even though all of them do. Last week, I talked about Carter G. Woodson, and this week, I want to talk about the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. And the Honorable Marcus Garvey, Messiah Garvey, was Jamaican, and he was born in August 17th, 1887, and he died in London, UK, in 1940. So he was born in 1887 and died in 1940 at 53 years old. He had a short life, but he was powerful. So Marcus Garvey, again, he was a Jamaican political activist. Also, he was a publisher, a journalist, an entrepreneur, and orator. So he established in 1914, while he was still in Jamaica, before he came to the United States, he founded and developed and established the UNIA, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, and the ACL, which is the African Communities League. 2 years later, in 1916, he came to the United States. And when he came here to establish his organizations, which was the UNIA and the ACL. And he lived in Harlem, New York, in those black communities to establish his organizations and throughout the black communities and the northeastern part of the United States. He was a powerful brother. And he wanted to make sure that we as a people had pride in ourselves, to separate ourselves from the enemy in order to establish our own economic system and stop begging and asking for things, crumbs that they sometimes gave us, and most of the time they didn't. So when you're a beggar, nobody respects beggars. So we have to really establish our own situation. Now, he was the first founder and president general of the UNIA, the United Negro Improvement Association, and the African Communities League. He was the first president general. And also, he declared himself the first provisional African president. He was a powerful brother. I love brother uh, Marcus Messiah Garvey. As a matter of fact, the branch that they have in Philadelphia, which is at between 15th and 16th and Cecil B. Moore Avenue in North Philly, I used to volunteer my services. We had the Saturday Academy, we called it, where I taught math and life skills to the children, to the youth. And it was a glorious, rewarding situation. Also, he organized the first black nationalist movement in the United States after he got here in 1916, in which he was 29 years old. 29 years old. He had the courage to come from Jamaica to the United States and establish these beautiful organizations that are specifically for us as a people. He wasn't scared. He was a warrior. That's why I love and honor this brother. He's an ancestor now. So he's a warrior ancestor that I will forever be grateful for. Now, he urged black folks, well, his purpose was to urge black folks to have pride in their identity, to have pride in their heritage, and not build and uplift everybody else's stuff. You know, he also enjoyed black culture, a period of black culture and economic success. In the midst of all these white folks, now that's a great thing that he did, to be the example that we can do and be what we want, what we desired. So in 1916, he left Jamaica and came to the United States and established himself in Harlem, where all black folks were. When I think of Harlem, I think of powerful people, powerful leaders, such as Malcolm X, such as Adam Clayton Powell Sr., Adam Clayton Powell Jr., just to name a few. The Harlem Renaissance. Wow, that's power. And that's the kind of power that all them other folks was afraid of. And I'm going to get into some of the powerful experiences and desires of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. He spoke about black pride, and he really wanted to establish a black nation, specifically for us. Black economics, because as we know, whoever controls the economics controls everything. Controls everything. So we must develop our own economic system and stop being beggars, because no one, as I said before, respects beggars. We have to establish our own. So, and he did that in around 1919 in Harlem, where there were 2 million of us in the United States. It was 2 million, and he wanted to gather all of us together as one to establish our own nation, our own economic system, so that we can have some pride and dignity within ourselves. But a lot of things happen during that process, as usual, when you're talking about money. Now, he was both a racial purist, and he was about separation. So that means that he wanted us to establish our own situation in the midst of all of these white folks. These are what you call warriors here, but most people are scared. You know, I'm like James Brown. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. So we got to stand up for our rights and do what we need to do. And when you develop a nation, you're like the beehive. You mess with one, you got to deal with all of them. So we have to get back to the nationalistic kind of a concept of existence, so that we can demand respect. Demand respect, not keep asking for it, marching for it, begging for it. We're not children, but they want to teach us and treat us like we're children. But we got to come up out of that. We got to man up, woman up, mind up, own up as a people, as one. That's why I love this brother. He influenced, or his influence ultimately declined because he wanted to do those things, just separate ourselves, but his popularity declined. You know, when you're talking about money, you know, bringing everything together, you know, he owned what they called the Black Star Line Corporation. And what was the Black Star Line Corporation? It included uh, his own printing business. He was a publisher and a journalist, and he also had a shipping company. The shipping company was used for us to go back to Africa. He said that since we are treated so bad over here, let's go back to where we come from. And maybe then we can have a better chance on establishing our own nation. But a whole lot of people start getting jittery. You know, one thing about us, as long as things is moving, you know, kind of slowly and whatever, we all in. But when it's time to move out, something happens. This brother wanted, once he started, you know, everybody started getting jittery. Then they sabotaged him. The feds charged him with mail fraud. Now we got to know, well, who are the feds? The Fed is a private agency run, owned, and operated by Jews. So what do the feds do? They control the economy. They run the money off. They determine the interest rates. They determine who they're going to borrow money or give money to. Whoever controls the economy controls everything. And they don't like us to control our own destiny. So what they do, they pay others to do their dirty work. Now, they charged him with mail fraud because he wanted to collect money for people to invest in our own thing, our own corporation, which was the Black Star Line, the shipping company. Now, this is what bothers me more than anything: the sellouts, the house Negroes. I can say something more deeper than Negro, but I just stay with that. The house Negroes, and one of them were the captain of his ship. He became a double agent. And he was reporting everything that Marcus Garvey was doing to the feds. So they indicted him on mail fraud. And they found him guilty and gave him 5 years. He didn't spend the whole 5 years in there. He spent around 3 years or so in there. But after his 5-year sentence, they deported him. Wow. They deported him. So, in other words, they got rid of him. They put him out of the country. And he went to the UK for the rest of his life, where he died of a stroke in 1940 when he was 53 years old. What that tells me, that he died of a lonely heart, out of loneliness and a broken heart, like most of our people do. We have to stop that, family. We can no longer allow that to happen to us. We have to show more love and respect for ourselves and one another than ever before. This was a powerful, powerful brother here, and he exposed a lot of things. And the main thing is, let's get our own. But first of all, you got to know who you are. For if you know who you are, you know who God is. But most of us don't know who we are. We're not even interested. We're into this dream, this psychology, this kind of hypnotic state that people are people. God loves everybody. But God loves everybody. It's not even necessary to love everybody because everybody have their own purpose and their own reason for being here. And some people are here for other people to learn from, including our children. So let's not allow people's lives to be in vain. Let's learn. The wise man can learn from anything and anybody. Let's learn from one another. If the blessing is in the lesson, then we got to start learning. And learning can be painful. But you can't beat the blessings once you get to the other side of the pain. So hold on. Because your faith is being tested and tried. Life is full of lessons and experiences. It's all about what are you learning. Because the only thing that's bad in life is when you're not learning. Because everything else is good. So he believed that all black people should go back to Africa and establish, we have a better chance of establishing our own nation instead of being totally disrespected, disregarded, and tortured over here. Read your history, you'll see. But if we're under this illusion to love your enemy as you love yourself, that's a sign of insanity. Why would I love my enemy as I love myself? Then what is the purpose of an enemy then? An enemy means someone who's against you. Why should I love them? I'll love them all right, and not in the way that you think. So we're not obligated to love our enemy. We're obligated to love ye one another, the ones who look like you. That's family. Now, he was the first person to establish a black nationalistic organization. He was our pioneer. So we need our black nation. And a black nation is not so much a physical thing, it's a mental thing. Because out of the mind, you will create the physical thing. But you got to get your mind right first. Because everything is mental. You know, he argued that our civil rights leaders erroneously and intentionally deceived us to believe that civil rights and social justice is the same. They're not the same. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. That there are two different mindsets, two different belief systems. And the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey was the most influential 20th century black nationalist and Pan-Africanist. That's why we have Pan-African studies in these universities now, because of our warrior. He influenced it all. He was the greatest in the 20th century. And we have people that came under those titles. Some were civil rights leaders and some were socialist leaders, social justice leaders. And I want to mention two of those in a minute, of the major two that we are familiar with. But we must know that even Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey was influenced by someone over here in the United States. And we must know that it was Booker T. Washington. Because Booker T. Washington, he promoted, let us have our own, let's grow our own food, let's establish our own economy. But he never met him. All of this happened within 10 years of him being here and deported. Things happened quickly. Because in 1922 is when he was indicted. That was only 6 years after he was over here. Why did we allow that to happen? See, a divided house will always fall. It's just a matter of time. And then in 1927, which was 11 years after he came here, he was out of here for good, before he even teamed up with Booker T. Washington. Because if those two had came together, oh, it was on. And these folks knew that. And particularly the Jews. Now, let me go back to when he was indicted. The jurors were all Jews. The federal judge was a Jew. And they indicted him because they was afraid of him. Because it was all about economics with the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. But who controlled the economy over here but the Jews? They didn't want no competition. So they had to get rid of him because they knew if he teamed up with Booker T. Washington, it was a done deal. And so why did we allow that to settle? Why didn't we carry it on? Because it seems like every time we have a leader and something happened to him, the enemy do something to him, everything just falls. We need to start developing leaders just in case something happened to one, another will step up. When are we going to learn that? We have to start developing warriors. Everybody don't need to be a soldier. Soldiers are trained killers or trained people who go out there and do certain things, but warriors are the leaders. They keep the peace, they keep the balance, and they will kill if necessary. But we have to cooperate with one another. Brothers and sisters, we're in a time period in life that is unbelievable. All these diseases flying around that are not ours. But because we have assimilated, we getting all of that stuff. Corona, COVID-19, they call it, the flu. Now they talking about something from South Africa that came over here. Somebody had and bought over here, and now they got that now. They got us all over the place. We need to learn how to mind our business. That's for them. Like for instance, the malaria, bubonic plague, and all these other diseases that they've always had, smallpox and all of that. That's for them. That's not us. But because we have assimilated, we get the same thing. So now we don't know it's them. We need to learn how to intentionally know who we are, know whose we are, where we come from, how we got where we are, so that we'll know where we're going. Because if you don't know where you are, you damn sure don't know where you're going. We're like spinning our wheels going nowhere. And that's why we're so frustrated and end up taking it out on each other. That's cowardness. We need to stand up and honor and represent those before us. They are spiritual ancestors now. And we need to keep the connection to the spiritual ancestors because we are the ancestors having a human experience. Because our turn is coming where we're going to be in the spiritual realm. So we must prepare because life is all about preparation. The more prepared you are, the better chance you have to be successful with balance. But some of this stuff that's happening to us, we need to be ashamed of ourselves for continuously allowing it to happen. It's almost like bumping your head against the wall, keep blaming the wall. No, get your damn head out the way. Now, in conclusion, I can go on and on, but I want to just motivate, inspire, and encourage you to pursue the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey yourself. Booker T. Washington yourself. George Washington Carver yourself. Carter G. Woodson yourself. And also Nat Turner. And Harriet Tubman. Our superheroes. So I want to share with you the difference between civil rights and social justice, because we have been deceived to believe that both of them are the same. Whole lot of deception going on, and we just going along with it. And since we are so religious, it says study to show yourself approval, then why aren't we studying? Why are we just going along and say follow no man? You don't think the pimp in the pulpit is a man? Well, what is it? All they doing is deceiving us to control our minds, which is in connection with our pockets. It's all about the mind to get that money. They're up there entertaining us and we feeling good and they ain't learning nothing. We stuck in the first grade all our life. No wonder we so frustrated and end up taking it out on each other because they always lump us together because they know sooner or later it's going to be an explosion. Look at what's happening to us today. Our children killing each other like it's nothing. Shame on us for allowing that to happen. Waiting for the government to do something for us. They have never done anything for us. We are happy that all these they handpicking these black folks, putting them in there, the president, the vice president. My thing is, okay, well, I'm happy that you're there getting a paycheck, but what are you doing for us? Look at what they have done for us. That's the key to it all. They said Obama, he did do something for us. And I said, well, what was that? The Obamacare. No, the Obamacare is for everybody. What did he do specifically for us? Tell me. And I can't fault him altogether because he's in a fraternity that won't allow him to do anything. And that's why he should have rallied us behind him. Now we got this new vice president, Kamala Harris. What is she going to do? Look at her track record. Man, she is a direct black man hater. She was handpicked. Her and Biden had the same agenda. Keep the black man down. What has changed in our lives? Nothing. Because lynching can come in many ways. Now let me get back to, man, I can go on and on, man. It's like, man, it's a sad, sad situation here that's going on here and has been. But the only one that can stop it is us. Because we are the original people. We are the caretakers of what God has created. But let's look at civil rights. What is civil rights? 3 things is civil rights. Number 1, the ones who believe in civil rights are the ones who support 3 things. Number 1, is equality. Number 2 is integration. Number 3 is peace. Remember that now. Equality, integration, and peace. Those are the civil rights believers. Now, social justice believers, they believe also in 3 major things. Number 1, anti-racism. Number 2, anti-war. Number 3, anti-capitalism. You see the difference? Now, here's the difference of the ones that we're familiar with personally. The Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King, he believed in civil rights. The Honorable Malcolm X believed in social justice. But guess what? The Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King was transforming because he's seeing all our people getting killed and destroyed and disrespected, marching peacefully like we're doing today with this Black Lives Matter. We got more white folks marching than we are. They're nothing but infiltrators. See, the liberal ones are the most dangerous ones because they can get in and then destroy you. So, the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King was transforming. He was losing his killing his old ways to live his new ways of thinking. So he was going to team up with the Honorable Malcolm X, and they were going to go to the UN to expose what they were doing to us in this country, as though they didn't know. But they were going to do it anyway. But guess what? They had to get rid of both of them. Just like they had to get rid of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey before he got to George Washington Carver. Because if they got together, it was on. So they couldn't have that. And now their mission today is to never, ever allow a Black Messiah to develop again. That's their main mission. So they got to put the fear in us. They got to intimidate us. They got to destroy the heads, which is the man, the seed carriers, so that they can put their seeds in our women. That's why they're fading in numbers. So now it's this interracial relationships now. You see it on TV and everywhere now. All of a sudden, why don't we question these things? Why all of a sudden the white man love our women? The white man loves our children. White folks love our children. Why? Because it's a conspiracy going on. They're fading and they want to create a new kind of children because once they have children, they're going to be mulattoes. They're not going to relate to us. They're going to be a new kind of enemy. Peep this thing, warriors. Peep this thing's family. It is what it is. I know you don't like some of the things that I'm saying, but that's all right. You need to ask yourself, why are you mad? Because if the shoe fit, wear it. If it don't, keep it moving. This is a conspiracy continuously going on with our people. All of a sudden, they're claiming that they love us. Well, they can afford to. If I had 500 years jump on somebody, I can love them and do whatever I want. And I never lose anything. I'm always gaining, especially when I'm winning over their minds. They'll never see that I'm the devil. We keep on marching. Black Lives Matter. Oh, please, snake, please stop being a snake. And please love me. Acknowledge my existence. That is ridiculous. If we come together, they have no choice but to acknowledge our existence and respect us. That's up to us, not them. Black Lives Matter is the same as the Civil Rights Movement. Same results, 50, 60 years later. What a slap in the face of the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King. Black nationalism is our answer. Let's love ourselves and one another more than ever before. Thank you, warrior, ancestor, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, for having the courage to come over here and to make a difference, even though your end result was like that, dying of a loneliness and a broken heart. Some of us need to pick it up and carry the torch. And I'm going to do all I can to represent. It's not about me, it's about the team. Most people are not team players. They can't even get beyond themselves. So you are dangerous to yourself. So, family, I pray that you are motivated, inspired, and encouraged to carry this a little further, to know who our real and true leaders are and what we need to transform ourselves into. We must lose our life, the old life, and gain our new life. It's all good. Family, continue to stay strong and keep your faith where it belongs, because life is for the survival of the fittest. The more fit you are, the longer you'll be here with balance. Also, do your best and let God do the rest. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. Keep your head towards the universe where all strength comes from, and never give up and never, ever, ever, ever give in, no matter how things seem, because everything is, always was, and always will be in divine order. God don't make no mistakes, but we do. But when you learn from your mistakes, it's all good. So keep on growing and keep on learning. You can't go wrong. Even though learning can be painful, but you can't beat the blessings, because the blessing is in the lesson. Keep your lights on and keep them bright at all times. Family, I love you, I bless you, and I want you to prosper. Follow positive footsteps, which is us. Hotep.